This is what we have been waiting for, the NXT Championship. And Wade, Finn Balor said this past Wednesday, there's a big difference between the main event for one night and a main event that is life-altering. You main evented matches against the likes of John Cena, Randy Orton, and Edge. Do you agree with the Prince?
I have to agree with the Prince on this one. This moment will change the trajectory of Kyle O'Reilly's career and indeed his life. As you mentioned, when I look back at my own career, a very similar thing happened to me in 2010. I was shot out of a cannon as a complete unknown. I ended up main eventing the likes of SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Life can never return to normal after an experience like that. You're recognized everywhere. Your colleagues recognize the achievement you have had, and you never get put back in that box ever again. A large part of the reason I'm even on this broadcast booth today is because of what happened to me in 2010. And there can be a similar effect to Kyle O'Reilly over the next 10 years plus, thanks to this matchup.
Here comes the Prince. And Wade, you and I talked earlier, Beth, you and I talked earlier tonight. Wade, I want you to go first. Wade, you predicted Finn Balor wins tonight.
Absolutely right, and that is not a knock on Kyle O'Reilly. Let me make that clear. I can see just how good Kyle O'Reilly is. Anyone with a pair of eyeballs can see that. The difference is, I've not just seen how good Finn Balor is, I've been in the ring with him and I felt how good Finn Balor is. I've had the life stomped out of me with that coup de grace. And given that this is a proven quantity in the champ Finn versus a lesser-known quantity in O'Reilly, I just have to lean with Finn Balor on this occasion. But I will say it is very, very close.
You know, Wade, taking nothing away from the spectacular singles career of Finn Balor, everything he's done to be a part of building NXT, but I gotta tell you, Kyle O'Reilly on this night, he's been the consummate team player, ready to go for Undisputed Era. Every single time he showed up and done what he's had to do to get things done. And on this night, he is the best he's ever looked physically, and he has the emotional support of his brotherhood behind him. Tonight, I am picking Kyle O'Reilly to be the new NXT champion.
A first-time ever matchup for the NXT Championship here at NXT TakeOver 31. Balor, the most wins in TakeOver history, looking for lucky 13 tonight. Kyle O'Reilly, his first singles match on a TakeOver, and O'Reilly, talking to him earlier, knows he hasn't won a TakeOver since NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. But Kyle O'Reilly focused tonight on silencing the doubters.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Championship! Introducing the challenger, representing the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly! His opponent, from Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, he is the NXT Champion, Finn Balor!
I had the opportunity to talk to Finn Balor earlier tonight when it comes to takeovers. He wanted to remind me that since returning to NXT, he hasn't lost at a takeover. 5-match winning streak, and tonight it's all about the NXT Championship. O'Reilly, Balor have not taken their eyes off one another. And I want to go back real quick, Wade, as we are here inside the Capitol Wrestling Center, which was first reported earlier today by Sports Illustrated. Here we go, main event time, NXT TakeOver 31, O'Reilly Balor. And we went back to this past Wednesday, Wade. Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly getting into an argument about 5 years. Balor having competed for 20, Kyle O'Reilly for 15, and Kyle O'Reilly said, what does those 5 years make? What's the difference? Think about what Balor has accomplished in those 5 years. Universal title, Intercontinental title, WrestleMania, returning here to NXT and becoming a 2-time NXT champion.
Go around the world and anywhere Finn Balor has been in his 20-year career, he has dominated in singles competition. You can say great things about Kyle O'Reilly too, but he hasn't dominated in singles competition right here in NXT yet.
Both these superstars going to the mat early on, and Beth, would that be the advantage to Kyle O'Reilly?
I would say, you know, Kyle O'Reilly's so proficient in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, and look at the speed at which both of these men move. It would be to Balor's advantage to get O'Reilly slowed down early on because, I mean, I've never seen O'Reilly this focused coming into a matchup.
And of course, Beth, you picked Kyle O'Reilly to win this matchup. You know, Finn Balor doesn't know Kyle's style, but Kyle's closest friend, Adam Cole, has been in the ring with Finn Balor. You can't replicate film, but you can imagine that Adam Cole has given just about every trick to Kyle O'Reilly heading into this matchup.
Undisputed Era's thick as thieves. You better believe they're giving each other the answers to the test. And I'm sure Adam Cole has been coaching O'Reilly on the best strategy coming into this.
A feeling out process between these two superstars. Balor, who stated he built NXT, now NXT needs him, and the wrestling world always watches the Prince. Balor called as he goes into the cover. Quick count of just one, and Balor right back on top of his challenger, as Balor has stated that he is NXT champion. That makes the NXT title, Wade, the most important title in the game.
Of course it is. It is the big one here in NXT. It's why it's the main event. But it's funny you should bring up earlier this week the face-to-face interview with HBK between these two superstars. I saw
Shoulders down for a moment.
Finn was cold and all business as you would expect.
Oh! Nice belly to back suplex, but Balor, Wade, holding on to the side headlock. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Absolutely, but Kyle O'Reilly in that interview, he was charismatic, entertaining, he was the Joker. He was sending a signal to Finn Balor that despite Finn Balor's accomplishments, he's not going to take a back seat to him. He's not intimidated by him. Kyle is proving out here tonight that he is deserving of this opportunity and he wants to win badly.
O'Reilly trying to silence the doubters here tonight, those that question if he can break out as a singles competitor, those like his opponent Finn Balor that doubt he can beat Balor, and believes as Kyle O'Reilly he is not the underdog. No matter what Balor's resume is, as Balor goes up, goes over, looking to take O'Reilly down. O'Reilly trying to turn it over into a cross arm breaker, and quickly Balor able to get to the bottom rope.
You saw that quick motion into that submission. You know, Kyle O'Reilly has a lot of personality. Oftentimes the jokes through Undisputed Era, but what he is in the ring is a dangerous competitor, proficient at joint manipulation.
I'm talking about joint manipulation, Beth. Kyle O'Reilly now has found a body part on Finn Balor and is trying to exploit the left elbow and shoulder of the NXT champion. Right now, O'Reilly just trying to grind down Balor. Balor doing his best, Wade, and trying to maybe take down Kyle O'Reilly, trying to pick the right leg, but Kyle O'Reilly standing strong.
Yeah, I have to say, if it comes to a grappling game between these two, the advantage is definitely with Kyle O'Reilly, given his BJJ experience.
And again, Balor trying to take down O'Reilly, but O'Reilly able to sidestep and counter Finn Balor. And again, the early chess match, early on in this match between champion and challenger.
See the way O'Reilly has his left knee planted firmly in the sternum of Balor, allowing him to manipulate that wrist.
Oh, hammerlock by Kyle O'Reilly, turning it around. Nice takedown of Balor. Finn Balor left shoulder going right into the mat. And you can see the pain on Balor's face. And Kyle O'Reilly quickly following up with pinpoint precision with his knee. And now elbows right to the ribs. And look at the transition by O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly sticking to his game plan that has made him the only 3-time NXT Tag Team Champion.
Driving those sharp knees into the midsection of Finn Balor, sucking the wind out of him very early in this matchup. This is the kind of matchup you don't want to make a mistake early on, because both of these competitors are only too eager to capitalize on the first slip.
You can hear the NXT universe here inside the Capitol Wrestling Center as Balor trying to counter early on here, and again Kyle O'Reilly staying on top of the Prince.
Yeah, hats off to Kyle O'Reilly. No sign of nerves, as we mentioned earlier, and he's not being crushed by the weight of expectation on his shoulders in his first singles main event here at NXT.
WWE Hall of Famer Beth Shawn Michaels said Kyle O'Reilly is no secret. Finn Balor himself admitted O'Reilly is not a secret, and O'Reilly has established himself all over the world as Balor able to break the hold, and Kyle O'Reilly trying to prove he is not a secret.
Well, in the early minutes of this matchup, you know, Finn Balor's been on the defensive for most of the time in here.
Ooh. Another takedown by Kyle O'Reilly. And O'Reilly staying right on top of Finn Balor. Beth, to your point, it is Kyle O'Reilly who's been able to control Balor in the early stages of this matchup. But again, going for another reversal up and over Balor. And drop kick right between the eyes of Kyle O'Reilly. And Wade, you said it, you can't win the match maybe early on, but you certainly can lose it by making a mistake.
As we take another look at this drop kick right between the eyes of Kyle O'Reilly, crushing, buying Finn Balor a little bit of space. You can see him grasping that left arm there, showing some after effects.
Balor into the cover, and a kick out by Kyle O'Reilly, and Finn Balor now with the upper hand in this matchup. A slow, methodical pace. Wade would favor who?
You have to say both men are absolutely on top of their condition. Now, I would think, in theory, a slow, methodical pace would actually favor the challenger here tonight, being that he is the expert in BJJ. But right now, we see the ground game of Finn Balor, and he is on top of this one.
He certainly is in a submission in his own right, and now mocking Kyle O'Reilly, playing a little air guitar, and again, just bending back the left arm, and you can really see the strain in that left shoulder joint of Kyle O'Reilly as Balor stomping down. A little taste of his own medicine for Kyle O'Reilly as the champion, like a caged animal, pacing the ring and focusing now, trying to get a hammerlock, and finally getting the hammerlock down out of the mat is Finn Balor, who now has control of the challenger.
Yeah, this might be a mind game from Finn Balor here. We go on and on about the BJJ experience of Kyle O'Reilly, but this perhaps is Finn Balor saying to Kyle O'Reilly, hey, give me a best shot, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to be better than you at your own game. Put this in Kyle O'Reilly's head this early, and Kyle O'Reilly might begin to question, how on earth do I beat Finn Balor?
Finn Balor continuing to wrench away on the shoulder of Kyle O'Reilly, and O'Reilly now trying to figure out the best way to get out of this hold, Beth, trying anything he can to navigate his way back to his feet.
O'Reilly very proficient and defensive as well, but this pace, this matchup, this is when Finn Balor is at his most dangerous. We see this a lot in takeover matches. This is the pace in which Balor is in control.
Oh, what an elbow by Finn Balor. Oh!
Back him up. Come on.
And Balor now pulling away. And bending but not breaking the rules all the way. Finn Balor, I mean, this is a championship matchup for the Prince. Balor in for a battle tonight. And Kyle O'Reilly has wanted to test himself against Finn Balor his entire career. Certainly, Beth, in for a test here tonight in the main event of NXT TakeOver 31.
You know, Kyle O'Reilly is a road warrior. He's been up and down the highways traveled. He knows what it's like to claw your way for an opportunity in a moment like this, and he has no intentions of wasting it.
Balor following up with a chop across the chest of Kyle O'Reilly. And this is what we have seen from Balor in the past. As Balor, for a second time, measuring the challenger, and another chop across the chest. And Finn Balor has been in control of Kyle O'Reilly over the last few moments. And Balor now setting O'Reilly up, charging back in. Oh, knee to the midsection, turning Balor inside out.
Look at Kyle O'Reilly. I can tell by his body language that he feels like he's walking around with a bag of bricks on his back right now.
Balor coming in, getting what a kick to the chest. O'Reilly trying to follow up now. Strong knees to the chest as well of Finn Balor. Kick to the back of the knee, what a strike. And look at the flurry of offense by the challenger. Nice takedown, and O'Reilly just like that, back in control of this championship matchup.
Beautiful Muay Thai strikes. We talked earlier about how the Undisputed Era would have been helping train Kyle O'Reilly. Of course, We know that Bobby Fish is an expert in the field of Muay Thai, and a bit of that has rubbed off on Kyle O'Reilly.
O'Reilly now charging in. O'Reilly forearm under the jaw. Kyle O'Reilly transitioning himself right back to that left elbow, trying to hyperextend. Balor with a forearm, knee back to the midsection. Balor double underhook. Oh, or gets caught. Excuse me, does Balor. Another double underhook suplex. Kyle O'Reilly with a DDT as well, out of the double underhook, and O'Reilly cover. And Balor able to kick out at 2. How about that, Beth, for a flurry of offense?
Phenomenal movement, and O'Reilly on a roll here. I mean, you see those kicks that really rocked Finn Balor. Getting kicked by Kyle O'Reilly is a little bit like getting hit by a baseball bat. You see Balor feeling it and struggling still from the beginning of this matchup, grasping at that wrist.
Kyle O'Reilly could have been looking for possibly a regal plex. Instead, Balor able to counter. Balor now firing back. And now O'Reilly answering back with a strong kick, buckling the left knee and right knee of Finn Balor. And again, strong knees and strikes by O'Reilly, lighting up the champion. These two superstars, you see the chest of Kyle O'Reilly turning a bright red from those chops. The knees that have connected into the chest of Finn Balor. Both superstars slugging it out. And for Kyle O'Reilly, it's about 15 years of sacrifice, but what a kick to the midsection. Talk about buckling the knees.
Completely knocking the stuffing out of Kyle O'Reilly. Referee getting in close here, seeing if he can even continue. Hopefully just wind it.
And Balor right back on top and going right to the midsection. And the referee stepping in, Wade, to your point.
Yeah, I've seen heavyweight boxers lose to punches to the midsection before. They've effectively been KO'd.
Oh! And Balor relentless, back on top of Kyle O'Reilly. And once again, the official backing off the champion.
O'Reilly looks hurt.
And Beth, Kyle O'Reilly has not looked the same since that spinning kick right into the midsection, maybe knocking the air, taking the win from O'Reilly.
Yeah, I gotta wonder, guys, if he didn't take, the positioning of that kick looked like it might have been to the liver, which is a devastating move, sends a competitor straight to the ground.
Oh, chest first goes Kyle O'Reilly, and again the official checking on the challenger. Wade, I want to ask you what your thoughts on what Beth just said, because here's that kick one more time. Take a look at, the location of that right foot.
I think Beth has just hit the nail on the head with that being a liver shot. Whenever they talk about it in heavyweight boxing and a competitor in a boxing match goes down from a body shot and does not get back up, it is from a liver shot. A strike to the liver is completely debilitating, excuse me, and I think that is exactly what Finn Balor managed to do to Kyle O'Reilly right there.
And again, Balor focusing in on that midsection. And again, Kyle O'Reilly has gone down. Balor standing tall here at NXT TakeOver 31.
Well, hats off to Kyle O'Reilly. He's telling the referee he wants to continue. I don't think he physically can. That is the point. The mind is saying yes, but the body is saying no for Kyle O'Reilly.
But wait, this is the biggest moment in the life and the career of Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly is not going to quit as Finn Balor with another submission on Kyle O'Reilly, almost a version of the camel clutch.
I admire the willpower of Kyle O'Reilly, but sometimes these can be toxic levels of willpower. Sometimes the mind is so strong against the body, and that is not always a good thing. You have to think about the rest of your life
Balor
and the
into the
rest of your
cover,
career.
hooks the leg, title on the line, and O'Reilly's right shoulder up off the mat.
Let me put it this way, speaking in boxing terms once again, if Kyle O'Reilly had a corner man, the towel would have been thrown in at this point. He can barely defend himself.
NXT Universe coming to their feet as we take one more look. Bam! More abuse to the midsection. And again, to Beth's point, possibly to the liver. Because back to the original kick that we saw earlier in the matchup. Bam! Pinpoint precision by Finn Balor. Kyle O'Reilly has not been the same. And now it's Finn Balor looking for an abdominal stretch. Center of the ring. And Balor has O'Reilly locked in. O'Reilly, nice hip toss to counter and break the hold.
Yeah, going back to that original kick from Balor to O'Reilly's midsection, the liver shot as we're calling it now. You just see it was a delayed reaction. O'Reilly tried to immediately come out with a punch, but his body just crumbled.
Well, a strike to the liver activates the nerves.
Oh, jumping knee by O'Reilly. O'Reilly locking in, Regalplex, shoulders down, title on the line. Balor able to kick out at 2. But where is Kyle O'Reilly getting this will from?
Yeah, somehow Kyle O'Reilly managed a steep bridge on that one. I don't know how he ever got up that high. But back to the liver he goes again. It's clearly causing him a massive amount of trouble despite that brief flurry.
Could be a liver, could be a rib, but nonetheless, the kick just moments ago in this matchup has changed the complexion of this matchup for the challenger Kyle O'Reilly, who now has to dig down deep and block out the pain as O'Reilly back to his feet. Again, looking to hyperextend, but right to the back. Balor now. Hoisting up and dropping center of the ring. Cover, count. And O'Reilly able to kick out.
Softening the liver up, you have to question what on earth is going to happen if the Prince Finn Balor manages to hit that coup de grace.
That surge, but guys, think about what we just saw. Finn Balor with that elbow again into the midsection of Kyle O'Reilly. There is a target on the body of O'Reilly. Balor trying to exploit it. Champion charging in. Sling Blade connects. And we have seen this in the past, Beth. Finn Balor lining up O'Reilly.
Finn Balor smelling victory, targeting Kyle O'Reilly. Riley struggling to get to his feet.
Target set. Oh, and a drop kick to the left knee of Finn Balor. Kyle O'Reilly, presence of mind to unleash that drop kick into the lower extremities of our champion.
Let's check this out one more time. O'Reilly able to get to the knees and knock Balor's attempt.
Oh wait, O'Reilly's been trying to hyperextend the left elbow of Finn Balor. Could be trying to hyperextend the left knee instead. And O'Reilly got caught into that abdominal stretch, center of the ring. The pain, and look at the blood in the mouth of Kyle O'Reilly. You must be imagining what's going through the body as now looking for maybe that 1916 counter to drop, knee first, and now Kyle O'Reilly trying to apply the submission, trying to take down the champion Wade and focusing on the left knee.
Absolutely, you have to think that bleeding from the mouth of Kyle O'Reilly, highly concerning, even though he's on top right now. That could be internal
Balor
bleeding.
trying to counter. Balor looking for the sharpshooter. Sharpshooter, center of the ring. The pain shooting through the body of Kyle O'Reilly. As O'Reilly trying to reach out back to that bottom rope.
O'Reilly struggling with every cell in his body. The pain must be excruciating. The suffering he's endured throughout this matchup.
What do you say?
Kyle O'Reilly trying to block out the pain, continue to fight, crawl and scratch like he has for 15 years, and gets to the bottom rope. Hats off, Wade. Hats off to Kyle O'Reilly.
Incredible resilience from the man, but at what cost? What is it all going to be for in the end? This man can barely defend himself at this point.
Balor.
Let's not forget, you're in there with one of the absolute best, Finn Balor.
You see the crimson on the lips of Kyle O'Reilly, still clutching at his midsection.
And Finn Balor grasping at his knee as he is looking down at Kyle O'Reilly. What a battle this has been.
Come on, out that corner, Balor. And I do this every night. This is no problem for me. Back it up. What do you say? Yeah! Kyle.
Almost uncomfortable now as Balor continues to beat down the challenger, and the referee's gonna have to use his discretion because the question, Wade, when does the official save the superstar from himself? There will be no quit in the body or the heart of Kyle O'Reilly tonight.
Let me be clear to you, if a championship was not on the line right now, the referee would already have ended this one, but somehow, some way, Kyle O'Reilly fighting back. Again, the gut shot, taking all the stuffing out of it.
Kick to the midsection, followed by a kick to the knee, stop to the back, forward by O'Reilly. Oh, a Pele kick by the champion. O'Reilly rocked. Lariat answered back. Both superstars down. This is what it means to be the NXT champion on a night that we have shown the history of this industry, the game-changing ability in this history. What about this championship matchup?
And what about this home run?
Kyle O'Reilly stumbling into that clothesline against Finn Balor. It might actually have helped him. I think he had caught him across the temple as opposed to the chest where he was aiming.
What a matchup right now. And you gotta think, guys, it's gotta be about more will than skill at this point. Who is gonna have that knockout blow? O'Reilly delivers a kick right to the chest. How is the challenger standing? The abuse that Kyle O'Reilly has endured throughout this championship matchup. And again, O'Reilly this time gets caught by Balor. Balor across the face. O'Reilly may be out. Balor hooking up, looking for that 1916. O'Reilly able to counter. Balor able to shift his weight back to his feet. Guillotine! Guillotine! Wade, the guillotine is locked in.
Squeezing the oxygen out of Finn Balor. This could be a knockout right here.
The champion bet is fading. But wait a minute. O'Reilly backing up and delivering a knee. O'Reilly charging back in. Front face lock. Looking for a suplex. Hit the brain buster. Float over. Cover. Count. Title on the line. And Balor kicks out. O'Reilly, though, transitioning into the armbar.
Finn Balor, fortunately for him, has this one blocked. You see those two arms linked as we see Kyle O'Reilly desperately trying to break those hands apart and extend the left arm of Finn Balor.
That's the arm that
extended the elbow.
That is the arm Kyle O'Reilly was focusing on early on in the matchup. But look at Kyle O'Reilly trying to use his legs to break the grip of Finn Balor. Balor holding on with literally one finger. Kyle O'Reilly breaks the hold. Champion's in trouble. Armbar almost on, and Balor able to roll through, use his own momentum, and now stopping away on the challenger. Both these superstars, where are they getting this from?
You have to say, Kyle O'Reilly fighting back from that liver shot and somehow not only still being in the fight, but at times being on top against Finn Balor is quite remarkable.
Balor again to the lower back of Kyle O'Reilly. Balor again, another forearm shot. And now, it's Finn Balor trying to hook up O'Reilly. Could he be looking for that 1916? Connects. Cover, hook of the leg. And Kyle O'Reilly somehow, some way, kicks out.
That was muscle memory kicking out for Kyle O'Reilly. He knows nothing about it right now as we take another look at the impact here. Everything being thrown down on that liver midsection area of Kyle O'Reilly, somehow kicking out.
What a championship main event here at NXT TakeOver 31, as now Finn Balor could be looking to climb all the way to the top. Looking down on Kyle O'Reilly.
Look at the positioning of Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, Kyle O'Reilly getting back to his feet. Sense that possibly that coup de grace could be coming, but O'Reilly is spent back. Kyle O'Reilly has left it all in the ring.
This is gut check time for Kyle O'Reilly. This is the difference maker between challengers and champions.
Oh, dragon screw over the top rope. Let's not forget, Balor's left knee throughout this matchup has been a focal point of Kyle O'Reilly's. O'Reilly again, sensing this could be his moment. A second time. Kyle O'Reilly's offensive game plan now, Wade, it's pretty simple. Chop down Balor.
Well, Balor has had a full body workout from Kyle O'Reilly so far, but right now the bullseye is on that left leg.
Into the chest of Finn Balor goes Kyle O'Reilly. And now it's Kyle O'Reilly trying to transition. Somehow, Kyle O'Reilly is pulling himself up to the top rope. 15 years of sacrifice for this moment. Knee to knee, and now the knee bar, blocked center of the ring. Beth, it's a heel hook.
The Achilles lock, driving that Achilles tendon into the bone, looking to dismantle the tendons in Finn Balor's leg, ankle, and knee.
Balor trying to fight free. Kyle O'Reilly transitioning Wade back around into another heel hook.
Beautiful transition from the BJJ expert Kyle O'Reilly, and look at the face of Finn Balor. Pain etched all over it. Desperation, heel shots.
And both legs now hooked by Kyle O'Reilly. There's nowhere for the champion to go. Balor center of the ring. Is Finn Balor gonna tap out? Beth, are we gonna see Balor tap in his first title defense?
The saddle heel hook locked in tight, rotating the tibia in the knee, and Balor out of desperation, slugging away at O'Reilly.
And Balor went back to the midsection, but somehow Wade, Kyle O'Reilly is blocking out the pain for the right to be called champion.
Once again, another transition from Kyle O'Reilly. And what on earth does Finn Balor have to do now to escape this hole?
Is O'Reilly gonna do it? Is Balor gonna tap? Are we gonna have a new NXT champion here at NXT TakeOver 31? Balor to the bottom rope. He's so close. Scratching, clawing. Balor, is he going to tap? Balor with the bottom rope in his sights. And Finn Balor gets to the bottom rope to break the hold.
But guys, what damage could possibly have been done to the delicate tendons of the knee? Balor was in that for an eternity.
NXT Universe rallying both these superstars. What a championship matchup this has been. And Kyle O'Reilly trying to think about all those long drives, all those flights. And O'Reilly chopping in now. Kyle O'Reilly feeding off the NXT Universe.
There's a lot of things to have been impressed by with Kyle O'Reilly tonight. None more so than no matter what predicament he has found himself, he's always been thinking. He's always been coming up with strategies on how to continue. And that strike to the knee of Finn Balor completely took him down.
And Balor now off that distraction. Oh, off that moment hesitation, excuse me. Able to open the door. Double foot stomp to the liver, to the midsection of Kyle O'Reilly. And now Balor with the challenger in his sights.
Balor can't stand up.
O'Reilly trying to rise, as is Balor. Balor with the knee. O'Reilly sensing it. O'Reilly charging in. High knee. German suplex. Balor. Double foot stomp again. Where in the hell are these two getting this from? And it's Finn Balor first to his feet. And it's Balor trying to pull himself up. And Balor now bleeding from the mouth as well. Kyle O'Reilly's not moving. Balor perched up high. Coup de grace. And Balor got all the coup de grace to retain his NXT title. And Finn Balor puts away Kyle O'Reilly.
And still the NXT champion, Finn Balor!
Well, Finn Balor might have a broken jaw here. What a war of attrition between these two superstars, giving it everything they've got for the NXT Universe in pursuit of that, the big one, the NXT Championship. And still, your champion, the Prince, Finn Balor.
But Beth, we can take nothing away from Kyle O'Reilly.
You know, boxing great Oscar De La Hoya was crumpled to the mat, never beat the count after a strike to the liver, and Kyle O'Reilly persisted for the length of this matchup. What a performance, what a breakout performance for Kyle O'Reilly.
let's go back to some of the action in this highly intense championship match. And that kick to the midsection really changed the night for Kyle O'Reilly.
There's one more moment. Finn Balor taking advantage of the strike to the liver, which would drop Kyle O'Reilly.
And then Kyle O'Reilly would drop Finn Balor with that brainbuster center of the ring. Finn Balor able to kick out. Kyle O'Reilly, though, tenacious as they come tonight, able to try to counter into a cross arm breaker. Balor hitting the 1916. We all thought Balor would retain. Kyle O'Reilly, Beth, would continue to fight.
There was no quit in Kyle O'Reilly tonight. You see here, putting caution to the wind with a devastating knee across the collarbone and chest of Finn Balor. O'Reilly would follow it up, looking for victory in this moment, Vic.
A knee under the jaw, rocking the champion, a German suplex, but Balor doing Finn Balor things, being able to roll through the pain and answer back, and then would hit the exclamation point, the coup de grace from the top to the liver to the midsection of Kyle O'Reilly, and Finn Balor would retain his title.
Let me tell you, watching the abuse these two superstars have exerted on each other's body make me happy that I now sit in this broadcast booth. I could not have done what these two have done to each other tonight. They are going to be hurting for a long, long time, but it's going to hurt Kyle O'Reilly more because Finn Balor somehow, some way retains.